All right, this is Stacy. This is SF Johnson Consulting and Construction Services, Finish Carpentry module. So, what we're going to talk about today, and remember, if our students are not here within 15 minutes, the class closes and they receive a audio and video version of what went on today. And primarily today, what we're going to do is talk about our new website and how to access the main pages and the outline page and how we're going to move forward from this point on. And so, what this course is defined as Mastering Finished Carpentry Estimating. It is okay, Mike, no, we're not doing the AI note taker thing. So, this is basically, it's a continuous series of classes all year long, and it is originally built to be 8 hours. Okay, and it is from beginner to intermediate. And so, what we're going to go over, there are 8 to 10 modules that we're going to cover over the class over the year. And what we have is our study page, and I'm going to give you the URL here online, but also give you the URL in your email. And by the end of the weekend, and today is 12/12/24. So let's see, I would say by the 15th of December, everyone will have their logon information, password information, and a way to log on to the study page. And so what you're going to do in order to access the finished carpentry module, the full module will take you to the individual 8 other modules that are the study modules. And what you're going to do is the URL for that is www.sfjohnsonconsulting.com/finish Carpentry EST all together. So FINISHARPENTRY. So it is sfjohnsonconsulting.com/finish Carpentry EST. Okay. From there, everyone will be sent an individual password and you'll be able to log on into the page. And once you're on that page, you'll have 8 separate modules where you'll be able to log on and uh, review all of the videos for that module and all of the documentation for the module, and also have access to the test and quizzes for each of the modules. So very quickly here online, and again, you're going to get your own personal page with access to everything. The 8 modules we will go over. Module number 1 is the Introduction to Finished Carpentry. That class is going to be about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, and what we will discuss are 3 things. The overview of finished carpentry, which is basically we're going to go over definitions and the scope of what that means. So the scope of finished carpentry. Also, we'll go over the types of projects and the finished carpentry that will apply to those types. So residential, commercial, and custom projects. Okay. Part 2 of module number 1 is the importance of accurate estimating, and that's why we're here. Okay. Because we're going to talk about 2 points encompassing that. We want to make sure we always avoid overbidding or underbidding, and how we do that. Okay. How we make sure we account for all of the labor that we should get for the class. Okay, how do we make sure we do that? Okay, so that's part of the importance of accurate estimating. And part 2 of that subsection, we're going to discuss the impact on profitability and project management with respect to accurate bidding. Okay, now part 3 of module number 1, tools for estimating. So it is vital that you have your tools, your takeoff software, however you're going to do your takeoffs. And we provide you with a customized Excel spreadsheet. Make sure you have that before the first project is due. So, and also there's a video for that. Also on the study page, when you receive the link, all of that will be there. Okay. So again, module number 1, that's the intro to finished carpentry estimating, this class. What we will discuss is the overview of finished carpentry, the importance of accurate estimating, and also tools for estimating. Okay. So, number 2, module number 2, understanding construction documents. Okay, so I hope you have taken notes. So when you review this on your own, make sure you are taking notes, have a notebook, because again, everything I say is going to come back to you in a form of a quiz or a short presentation you'll have to give, or, multiple choice. Make sure you have your notebook. And 2, I'm getting caught up sending people links to stuff too many times. So there'll be a quiz too. Part of the quiz will be how to access your study page, okay? And the processes you go through and confidentiality. And if any of the students are found to be sharing any of the documentation with anyone not authorized to see it, you will immediately, your class will be canceled without a refund. Again, if you are sharing any of this documentation or anyone else is taking a test for you, your class will be canceled and you will not receive a refund. And heads up, 2025, you will be required to show your face during each of the classes and participate. So, you pay me to teach you, and I teach the right way. Okay. So module number 2, understanding construction documents. Blueprint reading, series of quizzes to make sure you know how to navigate from one page to the next page to the next page accurately. Okay. Specifications. Where do you go? Where do you go in the specifications in order to find your specs on finished carpentry? Where do you go? Okay. And what do we mean by the scope of work? Okay. You need to be able to differentiate between your finished carpentry scope of work and all the others. So in the set of plans, where do you have to go? Okay. Module number 3, materials, estimating materials. Okay. So module number 3, and all of the modules are broken down to 3 parts, but each of the 3 parts have subparts. Okay. So module number 3, material estimating. Okay, types of finished carpentry materials. Okay, so what are the types? We'll go over millwork, casework, and then specialty items. And you need to know everything about that. And again, there's a quiz that comes with each of these subsections. Okay, so part 2 in material estimating, takeoff techniques. Okay, so when do we use the linear foot measurement? And when do we use square feet? Okay, and 2, allowing for waste. So in 2025, my estimating classes are going much deeper than they have ever gone before, because I'm trying to be certified as a actual school, people. And so we're not playing around anymore with showing up or not showing up. Once you pay, you have to perform or you will be canceled, period. All right. Material costs, pricing strategies for lumber, hardware, adhesives, everything you need. Okay. And adjusting for market fluctuations. How do you do that on a regular basis? And how do you represent that in your estimate? Okay. Module number 4, determining labor cost. Okay. We'll have that as a total separate module within our deal here. Within our deal here. Okay. And so that's module number 4. We have 8 modules, and what we're going to do right now is take a quick break. We have just a minor emergency here, and in order to do that, I am going to actually try to play some music, but I can't seem to find it. Okay, so let's take a quick break, a 5 minute break on this initial class for finish carpentry and how it's going to be such a blast. Okay, we have 8 modules where we're going over everything in detail. You will not regret taking the class and getting all of the additional everything that comes with it. And two, when you are a student of mine, you do get full access to Construction Queen TV, where it's 24 hours of nothing but fresh new videos from projects that my company and my contractors are actually bidding on. So we're trying to win real stuff coming out here every day. And two, let's see, what do we have? And so if you are a student or there's too many things going on here. If you are a student or any of or member of any of my member services, which is the monthly program where you basically get one-on-one training, get the videos as well. You get access to Construction Queen TV as well. So let's take about a 3 minute break now. Be back to talk about the remaining modules of the class. And this is typically what goes on. Each one of my classes are an hour. So sometimes, it takes a little less than an hour. But again, let's take a little break for 3 minutes and we'll be right back. Man, I tried to stop it in time, but I couldn't. All right, so here we go. Let's continue on with module number 4, which is our labor estimating and the 3 points that encompass. Oh, wait, hold on. Something ain't right. There we go. I'm back. You know what? You got to press too many buttons in this place. Let's see. Are we back? All right, yes, we're back. You got to press too many buttons. All right. So we are going to finish uh, module number 4, a review of the full. If you're just joining us here, people, you just on the back end of our introduction to finish carpentry estimating and just going over the syllabus in the class and what we're going to begin. This class begins next. Is it next week? We're not here the 22nd through the 28th, but I don't think that's next week. No. So next Thursday, this class begins, whatever day that is, a week from 7 and 12 is 19th. Okay. So the 19th of December, if you are interested in taking this class with me, please email me at education@sfjohnsonconsulting.com. This is the introduction, to the class, just trying to go over the details for new students that didn't show up for the first class. So, I want to let you know what you got coming. And so we have 8 modules, and this is module number 4, where we're talking about labor estimating and how we do that. And there's a 3-part process to that. And so we're going to go over the labor breakdown. Okay, what type of labor is required, okay, for this trade? And estimating labor hours. So, I'm a big fan of getting a tool that gives you accurate man hour totals based on construction industry standards. And if you don't have that, please let me know and you can buy one from me specific to finished carpentry, where all you have to do is put in your linear totals or your square foot total, and it will tell you how many man hours to do that job. Okay. Since COVID, a lot of you guys have gone out on your own and getting screwed. Let's just keep it real. All right. Because you don't know how to accurately determine man hours. And so I tell everybody, if you find you're winning everyone, okay, you're winning every job you bid, you're too low. If you're losing everyone you bid, you're too high. Okay, so you need a way to get in the middle accurately where you feel comfortable with the price, but again, based on construction industry standard, and you're not getting screwed. All right, simple. All right, so productivity rates. Okay, very important. Another way you're getting screwed, right? Because you got to go climb under in the water or in 110 degrees in the attic, and you're not adding any labor or anything for that. Okay. And so we go over that and what percentage, if your regular rate is 1, okay, let's just think about it that what I don't think about what one does, it's not a dollar. Okay. If you're regular, because we're talking about percentages. All right. So if your regular percentage is 1 or 100, okay, if I got to go in an attic, I need 50 more percent. So my labor rate is going to be 1.5 what I normally charge, that kind of thing. And so for every situation, whether it's attics, crawl spaces, above 2 floors, da, 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 whatever, renovations as opposed to new construction, I'm going to give you all the benchmarks, how you determine it and how to adjust it appropriately. Okay. Stop getting screwed out there. And then labor cost calculations. Wage rates, okay? What is the base rate in your city? Okay, what benefits, fringe benefits, workers' comp, what percentage of the base rate should that be? Okay, if you're trying to be out there and have employees, there's so many ways you can pay your employee. I said play. See, y'all getting played, so that's in the back of my mind. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, all right. So we want to do that. So that's module number 4. Module number 5, calculating overhead and profit, because you just throwing 10 and 10 up there, 35 and 95. For what? Based on what? All right. So we need to know how to determine that accurately or to the best of your ability. I know you're not big math guys, all right, or ladies. Well, maybe the ladies are. I don't know. I love math. And my parents taught me if you know your math, you're going to be rich because you can apply math to everything. Yes, you can. Okay. So, part of determining, all right, your overhead and profit is knowing your fixed costs and your variable cost and how they apply to that specific project. Okay. What are fixed costs? You got to know what that is. What are your variable costs? What is that? Okay, and profit margins, setting realistic profit. I mean, let's be real about it. Okay, let's set realistic profit margins. Okay, I had a client, probably still do, maybe same client, I don't know, but they subbed out work, right? So they charge or the sub charge whatever, but then they're throwing 35% on that. I'm like, what? First of all, the client doesn't know you need to sub it out. They're thinking you're doing it. So what justifies the extra 35% that you're throwing on top of it? If you want to be realistic, right? Setting realistic goals. I'm a big thinker and I like thinking. And if shit don't make sense, then you're gonna lose. So, or they'll hire you once and never again. See, and that's what you want is consistency and fairness in your bidding and your work and all of that. And a lot of you aren't getting it, so you don't want to listen to me the first go round, and then you think the dude you were talking to knows more, and then he screwed you, and then how do I talk to Stacy again? Just call me because I already know. This will be my 16th year, boys and girls, of you watching you guys get screwed and trying to help you. Okay, this ain't for me. I mean, think about what I do. Consulting to get you not being screwed, estimating to help you get enough. I just happen to be the smartest out here. Okay, let's just keep it real. All right, keeping it real in 2025. All right, so that's very important for you to know. Okay, so module number 6, building the estimate. Okay, you just got to know itemized everything. What does envision your final project? You have to be able to know all the details for your labor, for your material, for your overhead. And then of course formatting it in a way that looks professional. And when you present it to the owner or the GC, it looks like you know what you're doing. And two, you're able to use that same form and say, okay, Mr. Owner, I'll reduce my what else, you can't reduce your overhead because it's based on something real. But yeah, I can work with my profit. And two, when I help you with the labor hours, remember, it's not the Bible. It's a guideline. So if you find that you can do the framing at a fraction of that time and not the full time, then that's how you reduce your what labor costs, which is in line eventually reduces the full estimate and makes you more competitive. But you at least need a baseline that's based on something real, and I say that for any of the estimating that I teach. Electrical is like the wild, wild west. Okay. All you got to probably do is bid enough and you're going to win and make sure you have the money. And that's another thing in 2025. This one financing firm has been contacting me every other day for 5 years to help you guys get money because now there is so much money out there if you actually win a project, not just because you want it and want to go buy a boat with it. No, if you actually have a contract, you can get the money to perform well and pay everybody project by project. Okay, so reach out to me for 2025, baby, because we hitting it, we doing it. Okay, let's go. All right, so that was Module 6 is building the estimate. 7, risk management. This is something I just only usually used to do in project management classes that you would pay a whole different thing. But I'm going to put a piece and a part of this in the estimating class because a lot of the estimators that I help are self performers like me and need a little extra other than putting their estimates together. Okay, so what's risk management? Okay, let's define what that is. And just about in construction, everything is a risk. The people you hire, the materials, will they be there on time? Will the owner pay you on time? Will somebody fall off the roof? All of that, you need to have a plan in place. If there's delays on some other trade other than you, which causes you not to do what you're supposed to do, whoa, what do we do? Oh, I can't do nothing. I just got to go home. No, that's not how it works. So you have to know these things. Okay, delays in material delivery. What do you do? Errors in the design of the damn plans. Okay? What do you do? People asking you to take shortcuts that are not on the plans. Okay? That's stupid. So never do that. All right? If you want to stay in business. Okay? That's their problem. They trying to keep all the owners' money, not your problem. Okay? And building a contingency plan when all of this falls apart. Okay? Avoiding avoiding these problems if you can. That's why we have project schedules and construction schedules, and everybody's supposed to know what they're doing. And you have qualified contractors that's not going to go and set stuff on fire or whatever, or be inadequate when it comes to any part of the project. And so, what you really want to do, and what most people don't do unless they're a huge firm because you got a 10,000 knuckleheads working for you, is that you have to add contingency money into the project, into your estimate. And you have to be able to do that. Okay. Now, part of the risk too is making sure you exclude things that should be excluded. Oh, they wanted me to, I thought you were going to paint the trim. No, I'm not a painter. And nothing in my contract, which it shouldn't have said, that you were going to paint. Oh, I thought you were. That don't have nothing to do with what's in the contract. So the biggest risk you take, contractors, is not having a contract. That's why you're maybe that's why you're called a damn contractor. Because you're supposed to have a damn contract. Er. Yay. Right, 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 right. Okay. And last but not least, oh no, we have 9 modules. Okay, 7 is risk management. 8, we're going a little deep because I got help. I got help and I got interns this year. So they think we need to go through GC and client communication, learn how to talk and how to write letters and stuff. Okay. So presenting estimates in a professional manner, in a professional format, and knowing how to not, don't be so scared to say, hey, we need a revision of some kind or a change order of some kind. Okay. You know. And to talk about just how to make sure you're meeting the deadlines and stuff and ensuring, it's not your problem that they don't want you to get a permit. Okay, that's their problem. So don't fall for stupid stuff like that. That will end up getting you in trouble when something happens. All right. So communication. All right, verifying that the scope that you understand is getting done. Don't just be so happy you have a job, you have work, or you went on your own and finally it's $10,000, I can pay my mortgage or whatever. That may cost you $15,000 in the long run because you're not doing things the right way. Cross check. You eh, when it comes to material, don't just have one material supplier. What happens if he falls through? Or something or whatever, or embezzles the whoever. Now he doesn't have what, who knows these days. You got to make sure you have all of that in line, more than one supplier. So that's part of your risk management. Okay. And then we're going to have some case studies of actual, case studies, actual estimates we're going to do together. Okay. Step by step, each project, 3-step process for me, right? Detailed takeoff. Your number should match my number. And if it doesn't, then we have to see why, because there's somebody doing something wrong. And it's probably not me. It could be. It could be. You know, depends on a lot. But, our numbers should be the same because we're looking at the same set of plans. We're doing the same thing, and it should be the same. All right. And remember, this is an overview of this finished carpentry estimating class where we will cover from beginning to end. And on top of all of this additional information that I'm talking to you about, we're actually doing actual projects, okay? Either yours now, if we will work on your projects, but it's not me doing it and then showing you how I did it. Okay. It's just like my projects. You're doing it first, especially if it's your own project that you're actively submitting somewhere. You have to do your part first. I review it and then we talk about yours. Okay. Everybody's trying, oh, you didn't do, can you do this? No, I can't because you're supposed to do it. Now, you want to pay me to do an estimate? That's a totally different beast than this process. Okay. And no AI generated notes on my stuff. No, I'm never going to approve that. But every class is recorded and you will receive it. And you have access to all the recordings based on this trade and scope from past and present. Okay, so that's how we're doing that. So the case studies, are just all these projects that I have. They'll be listed on the study page and you'll be individually sent the set of plans. Okay, and that's about it. That's 8 modules, and I'll go over again. And next 19th is when the class actually begins, and we begin with module number 1, which is the introduction to finished carpentry. And you'll get access to the study page so you'll know what's coming up next. And all of the study information will be there, so you can always go ahead. You'll have access to Construction Queen TV, which is 24/7 of study material. And you will also be invited to all of the family oriented and adult oriented content that I uh, produce on Saturdays and Sundays. So, hey, I think again, you'll enjoy the class, you'll learn a lot, and you'll be you'll have a advocate for life. So again, module number 1 is the intro to this whole class. Module number 2 is understanding the construction documents. So we're gonna make sure you know how to read the plans. Module number 3, material estimating. So what's the type of materials, the takeoff techniques, and cost. Then the labor, that's module number 4, determining labor. Module number 5 is overhead and profit. Module number 6, building the actual estimate. Module number 7, new to SF Johnson Consulting for estimating classes, which is risk management and contingencies and how you handle that. And module number 8, reviewing the estimate with the client, with the GC, communicating best practices, and we go over meeting the deadlines. And then module number 9, which is really just the whole class in general, is us case studies, us doing estimates together. So if you have any questions about this or anything else, or if you have friends or family you think that may be interested in joining this class, and the first one is December 19th, and we have a new one every other week or once a month. I haven't figured it out yet according to the schedule we're building for 2025. But this is Stacy, owner and operator of SF Johnson Consulting and Construction Services, in operation since 2020. No, 2010, when George Bush messed up America, and it appears we're about to do it again. So thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you soon.
Mm, 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 mm. Mm.